Well, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining me as I continue the 1949 season replay in OOTP 26, Out of the Park Baseball 26. I had a very interesting thing happen recently in my attempt to play the All-Star game. I ran into a situation that even the development team in OOTP is not sure about, but to make a very long story short, I wasn't able to set the home and visiting team correctly per the actual ballpark where the All-Star game was played that year, which was Ebbets Field. It kept wanting, even after I tried to change the home field or the host field in the settings. It had been in an American League park. I think it was originally defaulted to Cleveland Municipal Stadium, but after researching it and realizing that the game that year was played in Ebbets Field, even after I changed it, it still would not let the National League be the home team. So after several attempts of trying to figure out what the deal was and contacting OOTP support development, they don't even know why that would not work. So perhaps foolishly or unwisely, I went ahead and reset my 1949 replay from the beginning and started over again, deleted the past results, and completely simmed everything up to the current. And so as you can see on here, I have it playing through uh, August 1st now. But what I want it to do is to play it through the 7th. Let me see if I've got this right here. Anyway, that's what's going on. Um, and so with that, I'm going to go ahead and move forward with all of this. I'm disappointed that I didn't get to do the All-Star game, but that's all right. I mean, if I didn't do it, I didn't do it. So let me play with this just a little bit and go ahead and autoplay the rest of these games. So as you can see now with this, and let me check the schedule again. Yeah, this is August the 8th, two games on the National Leagues and American League. I'm sorry, only two games in the, let me see if I've got this right. Sorry about that. Looks like there's only two games on the that were scheduled that day, both of them in the National League. So the standings for those of you who have been watching when I had this set up previously um, were quite different under the other version of the sim. As you can see now, we have a tight four-team race, which is very exciting, with Boston and Detroit on top, and the Yankees one game out, and Philadelphia 1.5 games out. Uh, on the original version, Boston and Philadelphia were battling, and I think the last game I played before I reset everything, Boston and Philadelphia were both in first place. So there's not a whole lot of difference, but the Yankees are definitely more into it. The National League, interestingly enough, has swapped second place teams. The Cardinals are now in third place, and the Giants are in second place behind Brooklyn that continues to dominate. They're playing 620 baseball now at 64 and 38. So we're going to go ahead and move through this. Again, no all-star game played. I don't know why, but I got a little bit frustrated with all of that because I couldn't get it the way I wanted to. So I said, well, the heck with it. I'm not even going to fool with it. So anyway, no all-star game results. Real quickly, Ted Williams is leading the American League in hitting at 366. Don Callaway is close behind at 364. In the National League, Enos Slaughter of the Cardinals is tied with his teammate Stan Musial at 363. Ralph Kiner running close behind at 344. Look at the home run total for Kiner. 47 home runs through August the 9th for Ralph Kiner. I'm sorry, August the 7th. 47 home runs for Kiner. He's driven in 109 runs. He is 27 home runs ahead of Bobby Thompson with the Giants. The AL leader is Ted Williams with 28. So, um, moving down the list, Hank Majeski of the Athletics is leading with 104 RBIs. You might recall in my other sim, it was Sam Chapman that was leading the AL in RBIs. And in this, of course, Ralph Kiner again 30 ahead of Jackie Robinson and a little more than 30 ahead of Del Ennis. Pitching wise, we'll go down to that. Oh, I have hitting streaks also, so let me address those. Pesky with a 22-game hitting streak for the Red Sox. Pee Wee Reese with the Dodgers has a 20-game streak. Howie Pallette of the Cardinals, Harry Burkeen of the Cardinals, both leading the National League in ERA, and they are a third-place club as we speak. Lou Brissy of the Athletics is leading the American League in ERA at a very healthy 2.08. Bob Lemon has 14 wins and leads the American League, one over Tommy Byrne and Mel Parnell. And Joe Hatton of the Dodgers is ahead of Warren Spahn, 14 over 13, with Ken Heintzelman of the Phillies right behind him. Spahn has 131 strikeouts. That's pretty amazing. That's 22 more than Lou Brissy has with the Athletics. And then for as far as the saves are concerned, Tom Ferrick of the Browns are in last place. They've only won 38 games, but Tom Brown has saved 12 of those wins. And the Dodgers have Irv Palika with 10 saves. So again, with today's schedule, 2 games on tap. Giants and the Dodgers. This is first and second place right now, as you saw in the standings just a second ago. So I'm going to go ahead and quick play the Cardinals and the Reds, and then I'll go ahead and we will set up a Dodger Giant matchup. And the Cardinals beat the Reds 7-5. Howie Pallette gets the win. He's now 12-5. And Buddy Lively gets the loss for Cincinnati. He is now 5-4. Walker Cooper has his 14th home run for the Reds. Of course, Walker Cooper being a former St. Louis Cardinal with the Reds in 49. Nippy Jones hit his 5th home run for St. Louis. So let's go ahead and get this game underway. Dave Koslo for the Giants against Don Newcombe from Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. So here are your lineups for the New York Giants. Hank Thompson will lead off and play second base. Whitey Lockman bats second and plays left field. Bobby Thompson hits third and plays center field. Batting cleanup and playing first base, Johnny Mize. Willard Marshall is in right field hitting fifth. Sid Gordon, an outfielder, is at third base hitting sixth. Bill Rigney will be at shortstop batting seventh. Ray Mueller will be the catcher hitting eighth. And Dave Koslo will be on the mound for the Giants. For the Brooklyn Dodgers, Pee Wee Reese will lead off and play shortstop. Billy Cox will bat second and play third. Carl Furillo will be in right field, hitting third. Jackie Robinson will bat cleanup and play second. Gil Hodges will play first base, hitting fifth. Luis Olmo will take over for Duke Snyder in this game, playing center field and bat sixth. Tommy Brown will play left field today, batting seventh. He will take the place of Andy Popko. Roy Campanella will bat eighth and catch, and Don Newcombe will be on the mound. Let's check that. No, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. Andy Hofko was not with the Dodgers in '49, but Gene Hermansky was. So actually, he is the replacement for Hermansky and Marv Rackley. So my bad on that. Okay, then. So let's go ahead and get this game underway. From Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, it's the Dodgers hosting the Giants, and Hank Thompson will lead it off for the visiting New York Giants. Your outfield is Tommy Brown in left, Luis Olmo in center, Carl Furillo in right, Billy Cox at third, Pee Wee Reese at short, Jackie Robinson at second, Gil Hodges at first, and Roy Campanella will be behind the plate and catch. So here's Thompson. Thompson is hitting .252 with 3 home runs and 10 runs batted in limited duty this year for the Giants. So the 2-2 pitch to Thompson, and Thompson rips it up the middle, but Reese dives for it, makes the play over to Hodges for the first out. Whitey Lockman is your left fielder. The game is running behind just a little bit with all the stats and everything pushing out. Here's Whitey Lockman. Lockman is hitting .300, 4 homers, 32 runs batted in. He leads the team. Well, he's in second place in stolen bases with 8 behind Bobby Thompson. So Lockman up with a 3-1 count against Don Newcombe. Here's the wind and the pitch. And Lockman is going to draw the walk. And he will go down to first base for Bobby Thompson. Thompson having a good season, .322 average, 20 homers, 71 runs batted in. 1 out with a man on. Newcombe to Thompson, and Thompson hits it down to Reese. Reese over to Robinson. Robinson to first on the 6-4-3 twin killing, and the Giants go down in the first. So here come the Dodgers with Pee Wee Reese to lead off, followed by Billy Cox and Carl Furillo. Dave Koslo on the mound. As I mentioned earlier, he is 2-6 with a 2.31 earned run average. Reese is going to lead it off. 15 homers and 44 runs batted in for Reese. 19 steals on the year, and he's hitting .283 and a very good defensive shortstop. He is second in the National League in runs scored, and he rips it down to first, but Mize fields it and makes the play for out number 1. Here's Billy Cox hitting .210, 3 homers, 23 runs batted in. He hits it down to the second baseman, Henry Thompson. Thompson over to Mize for out number 2. And here's Carl Furillo, .327 on the year with 7 homers, 51 runs batted in. And Furillo rips it into right field on a 1-1 pitch from Koslo for a base hit. And he gets the Dodgers the first hit of the day. And here's Jackie Robinson hitting .322, 17 homers, 79 runs batted in. He has 16 stolen bases on the season as well. Furillo down at first with 2 outs. Koslo trying to get out of it, and Robinson rips it up the middle. It gets past Thompson for the base hit. And Furillo is going to advance to third on the single. And Jackie Robinson pulls into second base on the throw. So we've got runners at second and third with 2 outs for Gil Hodges. And the Dodgers threatening with a 2-out rally here in the first. Here's Hodges down to first base, but Mize picks it up to make the play for the 3rd out, and the Dodgers leave 2 men on. So we move to the top of the second with the Giants coming to bat with Johnny Mize, Willard Marshall, and Sid Gordon. Mize hitting .259 with 14 homers, 58 runs batted in. Newcombe 11-4 in the season, 2.32 earned run average, and Mize lifts it to the shortstop. Infield pop-up to Pee Wee Reese for the first out. Here's Willard Marshall, .329, 7 homers, 49 runs batted in. Playing right field, he's 5th in the league in hitting, and Marshall is going to line it out to Jackie Robinson for the second out. Here's Sid Gordon, .281 on the year for Gordon, 18 homers, 78 runs batted in. Gordon with a 3-2, and that ball's hit up the middle, but between Reese and Robinson for a base hit, and the Giants have the first hit of the game with 2 outs for Bill Rigney, playing shortstop today. Rigney at 289, 2 homers, 31 runs batted in. So here's Rigney, future big league manager, and Rigney is going to dink one into center field. It was hit not real hard, but the runner is going to advance to third, so Gordon ends up at third on that, as Olmo threw it to try to get him, but Rigney's on with a single, so the Giants have 2 men on with 2 men out for the catcher, Ray Mueller. Mueller hitting .214, 4 homers, 29 runs batted in. Here's the wind and the pitch, and Mueller rips it down. A hard ground ball down to Reese, but Reese dives for it. Gets it over to Hodges, and that retires the side, and the Giant rally goes away. We move to the bottom of the second. No score. Here's Luis Olmo playing center field today. He's hitting .314. No homers, 10 runs batted in. Only 51 at-bats at this point in the season for Olmo. Here's Koslo with the pitch, and Olmo pops it up to the first baseman, Johnny Mize, behind the bag for the first man out. And here's Tommy Brown, 211 on the season, with 4 homers and 9 runs batted in. Tommy Brown, the pitch from Koslo, and Brown is going to cork this from the left, but Lockman is there for the second out. And here's Roy Campanella hitting 8th today. Campy's hitting .288 with 11 homers and 46 runs batted in. Campanella with a full count down to Rigney. Rigney over to Mize for the 3rd out of the inning. So we move to the top of the 3rd, and the pitcher, Dave Koslo, is going to lead it off. Koslo hitting .133 with no homers and 1 run batted in. Koslo swings and misses, and Newcombe gets his first strikeout of the day, retiring Koslo. Top of the order up, Henry Hank Thompson playing second. Hank is 0 for 1 today, playing second base from the left-hand side, and Thompson is going to drill a single into right field. Furlow up with it, brings it in, and Thompson is on first base with 1 out for Whitey Lockman. Lockman walked his last time up. Playing left field today. Here's the wind and the pitch. Fly ball center. Olmo can't get to it. That ball is going to get by him. Lockman hesitates on the throw. He gets past second and goes on to third, and he knocks in Henry Hank Thompson with the run, and it's now a 1-0 Giants lead. So Whitey Lockman probably got credited with a double on that one that advanced to third. So it's a 1-0 game for Bobby Thompson. Thompson 0 for 1 in this one. Runner at third, and Thompson drills it to right center field for a base hit. That ball's going to get all the way down to the wall. You can't even see the players out there throwing the ball back in as Thompson hits a double. And now we have a 2-0 lead for the Giants, who are trailing the Dodgers in second place now. So here's Johnny Mize. Mize 0 for 1. Runner at second with 1 out. 2-0 Giants, and Mize drills one to left field down the line. Fair ball. Brown gets it back in, but Bobby Thompson gets a double. Mize comes around. Mize gets a double. Thompson comes around to score, and now we have a 3-0 lead as Newcombe is in a bit of trouble here early on in the game in the 3rd inning. So now we have Willard Marshall coming up. Marshall is 0 for 1, so Mize is down in second. 3 runs across for the Giants. And here's Marshall, and that's a fly ball to Olmo. And he's going to make the play for the second out with Mize returning back to second. Here's Sid Gordon 1 for 1 on the day. He's now hitting 283. See if he can get the run in with 2 outs. And Gordon pops this up to the catcher, but Campanella's behind home plate and makes the play. But the Giants strike for 3 runs in the inning, and they now lead it 3-2 nothing. So let's see if Dave Koslo can hold on to this lead as Newcombe comes to the plate. Newcombe, a 204 hitter, 1 homer and 8 runs batted in. So here's Newcombe from the left side, swinging a miss. Koslo gets Newcombe, and that's his first strikeout of the day. And here's the top of the order, Pee Wee. Reese up. Reese is 0 for 1 on the day. Koslo's now thrown 37 pitches. Reese is going to pop this one up into foul territory. Mize moves behind the first base coaching box for the second out. And here's Billy Cox. Cox is 0 for 1. Koslo with the pitch to Cox, and it's a ground ball down to Gordon at third. Gordon over to Mize to make the play for the third out. And the Dodgers go down. So we're going to move to the top of the fourth with Bill Rigney, the shortstop, to lead it off here in the fourth inning. Newcombe has now thrown 60 pitches in this game. So here's Rigney. Rigney got hit his last time up, and this is not going to get out of the infield. This is a pop-up that is going to be fielded by Pee Wee Reese for the first out. So here's Ray Mueller. Mueller, 0 for 1. Catching today. Here's Newcombe, and Mueller swings and misses for the second strikeout of the day for Newcombe. And here's Koslo with a 3-run lead. 0 for 1 at the plate. From the left side, Koslo down to Robinson. Robinson on the edge of the grass, and he makes the play for the third out. So we move to the bottom of the fourth. Giants 3, Dodgers nothing. Here's Ferrillo. Carl, 1 for 1 on the day. He is now hitting 329. Koslo to Ferrillo. Ferrillo hits a little number back to the mound. Koslo up with it, wings it over to first for the first out. Here's Jackie Robinson. Robinson, 1 for 1, continues to hit well. And on the 1-1 pitch, this is going to get popped up. Running in from into foul territory is Sid Gordon, and he squeezes it for the second out. So here's Gil Hodges. Hodges is 0 for 1. Wind in the pitch from Koslo, and Hodges drills one to right field, but that is going to land in the glove of Willard Marshall, who was waiting for it for the third out. So the Dodgers go 1, 2, 3 in the fourth, and we move to the top of the fifth with the Giants still up 3-0. Here's Hank Thompson. Thompson is 1 for 2 on the day. Newcombe walks him. So that is Newcombe's second walk of the day. And here's Whitey Lockman. Lockman is 1 for 1. 6 hits for the Giants in this game, 2 for the Dodgers. Lockman is going to take ball 4, and he's going to move down to first base himself. So here's Thompson with 2 on. Newcombe in trouble. Thompson is 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. So here's Thompson. Nobody out. 3-2 pitch. Line out to Olmo. He barely moved forward in straightaway center field for the first out. Here's John Mize. Johnny is 1 for 2. He also has a run batted in. And an 0-1 pitch to Johnny Mize. And Mize is going to drill this one to right for a base hit. Ferrillo's not going to get to it. And we have runners at all the bases now as the runner's held up at third with 1 out for Willard Marshall. Marshall 0 for 2 so far. Let's see if he can break this game open for the Gents. Infield in, ball gets past Campanella. The runner's going to score from third. That's Thompson. And we have a 4-0 game with Lockman moving to third and Johnny Mize down to second. So here's Marshall, 2 on with a run in, 1 out. Infield pulled in. Marshall is going to hit one down to Reese. Reese looks the runner back, and he gets that over to Hodges for the second out. So Sid Gordon is now can see if he can keep this inning alive. He's 1 for 2 today. Second and third with 2 outs. Giants lead it 4-0. Wine in the pitch. Gordon rips it down to first base. Pretty hard hit ground ball, but Hodges is here to field it and makes the play. But the Giants pick up a run on a hit and 2 walks with 2 left on, and they now increase their lead to 4-0. So here's the Dodgers needing a rally here to get some runs on the board. They're being held to 2 hits by Dave Koslo. So here's Olmo. Olmo is 0 for 1 today, and he's had a lot of activity in the outfield today. So Olmo is going to dink one into left field for a base hit. Soft line drive. Lockman up with it, gets the ball back in, and Olmo is on first base with nobody out for Tommy Brown. Brown is 0 for 1. Let's see if these replacements can do something. That ball is going to be hit to Rigney. That goes to Thompson, over to Mize. 6-4-3 double play, and that erases the base runner for the Dodgers. So with 2 outs and nobody on, here's Campanella 0 for 1, and that ball is going to be drilled up the middle right past Thompson to the right of second base for a base hit. So the Dodgers have a man on here in the 5th, and they're going to let Newcombe back. The AI is not going to lift him, so Newcombe's going to get a chance to swing at it. 0 for 1 on the day, hitting 200 from the left side of the plate, and Newcombe hits one down to Gordon at third, but Gordon tosses over to Thompson for the force, and that retires the side. So Giants lead at 4-0 with a chance to pick up a game in the standings. Here we move into the 6th with Bill Rigney up. Rigney is 1 for 2 on the day, and he will face Newcombe, who is starting his 6th inning of pitching. So here's Rigney with a 3-2 count, swinging at him as Newcombe gets him. That's his 3rd K of the day. And here's Ray Mueller. Mueller now is 0 for 2. Mueller, pitch, hit, down to Cox. Cox over to Hodges. Hodges fields it for the second out. And here's Dave Koslo. Koslo 0 for 2 at the plate today. Newcombe to Koslo. On a 1-2 pitch, he gets Koslo swinging for his 4th strikeout. That's going to retire the side. So the Dodgers have 12 outs to go as we move to the bottom of the 6th. At the top of the order up, Pee Wee Reese. Reese is 0 for 2 on the day, now hitting 282. So here's Koslo. 71 pitches thrown. Thompson fields it by second base, over to Mize for the first out. And here's Billy Cox. Cox is looking for his first hit on the day, 0 for 2. Right-handed hitter, and Koslo misses outside on a 3-2 pitch, and Billy Cox is going to go down to first. So here's Ferrillo. Carl is 1 for 2 on the day. Wine in the pitch. Ferrillo hits it to left, but Lockman is sitting, waiting for it, barely has to move, and that's the second out. So here's Jackie Robinson, 1 for 2 on the day, now hitting 323. So Robinson drills one to left field, right in front of one, hops to Lockman for a base hit. Runner stands up at second, and Robinson is on with a single. So the inning is alive for Hodges. Gill is 0 for 2. Koslo's still out there. And this is a 1-2 pitch from Dave Koslo, and Hodges is going to go down swinging as Koslo gets his 2nd strikeout of the day, and the Dodgers rather leave 2 men on, and the Giants remain out in front by a score of 4-0. So Newcombe is going to face Hank Thompson. Newcombe has now thrown 105 pitches. Thompson is 1 for 2 on the day with a walk. So here he is, Thompson, swinging and drilled to center field for a base hit. Olmo up with it, gets the ball back in, and that's his 2nd hit of the day for Whitey Lockman. Lockman is 1 for 1 with an RBI, a couple of walks today. Lockman, pickoff play attempt, and he is thrown out. So Hank Thompson gets thrown out by Don Newcombe for the first out of the inning. So base runner erased. Lockman up with nobody on. Winding the pitch, and Lockman hits it down with a 1 or 2 hopper to Hodges, but Gills up with it makes the play for the second out. So here's Bobby Thompson. Thompson, 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI. Winding the pitch from Newcombe, and Thompson is going to drill one into left center field for a base hit. Olmo over for it to pick it up, and Thompson has his second hit on the day. And here's Johnny Mize. Mize, 2 for 3 on the day with an RBI. 2 outs, 4-0 Giants. We're in the top of the seventh. Mize up with a 1-1 count, and he is just going to hit one right back to the mound. Newcombe hesitates just a little bit, but they get the 1-3 put out, and that will be retire the Giants in the seventh inning stretch. It's 4-0 New York, with Luis Olmo up, followed by Tommy Brown, Roy Campanella. Here's Olmo, 1 for 2, and Olmo is going to line it out to Johnny Mize behind the first base bag for the first out. Here's Tommy Brown, 0 for 2 on the day. Brown against Koslo, and Brown lifts one to right, but Millard Marshall is at the warning track and makes the play. He hit that pretty well, but not quite good enough for the second out. And here's Campanella. Roy is 1 for 2 on the day. No RBIs. He's now hitting .290. Koslo looks, checks, and there's Campanella, and he lines it out into short center field. Thompson gets under it, makes the play, and that retires the side for the Dodgers. So we move to the eighth. Giants up 4-0. Willard Marshall up. No hits today for Marshall, 0-for-3. Newcombe is still out there, 118 pitches now for Nuke. So here's Marshall looking for his first hit, and he is going to lift one right over the head of Pee Wee Reese, and he avoids the hat trick, avoids the hitless day, and gets his first hit of the day for Sid Gordon. Gordon is 1-for-3 officially. Here's Gordon. Fly ball left. Brown drifts over a few steps, makes the play for the first out. Marshall still down at first for Rigney. Rigney throwing 1-for-3 on the day. He has raised his average up to .289. So Rigney drills one to center, but almost just moves over just a little bit right there to make the play to his right for the second out. Here's Ray Mueller. Mueller is hitless, 0-for-3. Newcombe with the pitch, and Mueller down to third to Cox. Cox over to second. Robinson has to reach for it a little bit, but they get the force out at second, and that's going to retire the side for the Giants in the eighth. So Gene Hermansky will come up and bat for Don Newcombe here in the bottom of the eighth. Hermansky, 326 on the year, 5 homers, 35 runs batted in. He is sharing left field, I presume, with Marv Rackley and maybe even Dick Whitfield. So here's Hermansky, left-handed batter to face Koslo. Koslo has now thrown 105 pitches in this game. 3-2 full count to Hermansky, and Hermansky is going to hit a short ground ball down to second, but Thompson's up with it, makes the play for the first out. Just a little roller out to second base. So here's Pee Wee. Pee Wee Reese, 0-for-3 on the day. Koslo still pitching. Reese, fly ball, left. Lockman drifts over, makes the play for the second out. And here's Billy Cox. Cox is hitless today, 0-for-2 officially. 0-1 pitch to Billy Cox. And Cox is going to pop this one up, and Mize runs all the way in from first, just to the right of home plate, and makes the play for the third out. So let's see who the Dodgers are going to bring in to pitch, and it looks like it's going to be Jack Banta. So Banta has come in to pitch for the Dodgers. He is 2-2 with a 2.7 earned run average, 34 strikeouts, and 18 walks out of the bullpen. So Koslo is going to bat for himself here in the ninth. Dave is 0-for-3 on the day. So here's Banta to pitch to Koslo. 2-1 count from the left side, and Koslo is going to pop it up That ball's on the right side of the infield and is going to be fielded by Jackie Robinson for the first out. So here's Thompson, top of the order up. Henry or Hank has had a good day today, 2 for 3 in the leadoff positions. Here's Thompson, and Thompson is going to look at a call, third strike. Banta gets his first strikeout in relief, and here's Lockman. Lockman, 1 for 2 with a ribby to face Jack Banta. Banta, and there's Lockman. But he is going to hit a long fly ball out to Oma, who does not have to move for the third out. So no defensive replacements for the Giants. So they're 4 down into the ninth. Here's Ferrillo, Robinson, and then Hodges. Koslo still out there. No call to the bullpen. 116 pitches pitched in this game. He's going for the complete game shutout if he can get it. Here's Ferrillo, 1 for 3. Wine in the pitch. Carl rips one to right, but Marshall is right there at the Ballantyne sign, and he makes the play for the first out. Here's Jackie Robinson. Robinson is 2 for 3 on the day. Just see if he can keep this inning alive. Robinson with the hit pitch, and he lines it out to Thompson at second for the second out. So the last chance for the Dodgers is Gil Hodges. Hodges today 0 for 3. Renee. Koslo is 1 out away from a complete game shutout. Let's see if he can get it. Here's Hodges, right-handed batter. Koslo with the pitch, and that ball's going to be hit down to short, but Rickney has it over to first base, and a big win for the Giants today as Dave Koslo pitches a 5-hit shutout in Ebbets Field against the Dodgers, and they win it by a score of 4-0. So here are your totals for the Giants. They had 4 runs on 10 hits with no errors. They left 7 men on base. The Dodgers, on the other hand, had no runs, 5 hits, and no errors. They left 5 men on base. Koslo gets his third win of the year. He's now 3-6. He lowers his earned run average to 2.1. And Don Newcombe takes the loss. He's now 11-5 with a 2.45 earned run average. Player of the game is going to be Dave Koslo. That was a pretty easy pick. 2 hours and 34 minutes, 30,946 in attendance. So with that, we're going to leave this game and the updated standings show that the Giants are 5 games out of first place behind the Dodgers. So thanks everyone for joining me. Good to be back with you, and we'll have more 1949 season replay to you soon. So until next time, goodbye for now.